The Koszalin province, situated in the northwestern part of Poland, covers almost 8.5 thousand square kilometers. It has about 500,000 inhabitants. The capital of the province is Koszalin, a city of 110,000 inhabitants. The area of the Koszalin province covers two geographical regions, the Koszalin seashore and West Pomeranian lakeland. Together, they form one of the most attractive geographic regions of Poland. It reaches from the Słowinski seashore through Białogard Plain, Polanow Plateau, Szczecinek and Drawsko Lake land. The Drawsko Lake land has not only beautiful landscape, but it also holds many unique and mystic monuments of nature. The most significant parts of the landscape are hills of different types, post-glacial cavities, valleys, and lakes. These unique traits of the landscape and other significant natural objects were the reason of establishing the Landscape Park of Drawsko region.
Park krajobrazowy powstał w 1979.
The Drawsko Landscape Park was established by a decree of the Koszalin Province National Council in 1979. This was one of the first parks in Poland. The purpose of its establishment was to protect the environment.
Walorów środowiskowych w dosyć szerokim pojęciu.
The best known objects and observation points in the area are among others the Five Lakes Valley, Debsna River Band, which is a part of the canoe route named after Karol Wojtyła, the Pope, and also Uraz Peninsula and on Drawsko Lake, which has a nice view at Bielawa Island. Certain areas having little contact with human activity have been protected as wildlife landscape reservations. In the Koszalin province, these are among others Koszalin Seashore Zone, Szczecinek Lakes, the area around Zivno and Białobord, and Radnu River Valley. The total protected area covers 207,000 square kilometers, which makes 22% of the whole province acreage. One of the especially interesting areas is the Parnowo Bird Reservation, created in 1976. This lakeland of 66 hectares attracts an unusually wide range of water and swamp birds, 39 species altogether. Thus, this valuable reservation has been added to the list of the London Ornithological Association. The Koszalin province area includes almost 2,200 monuments of nature, which are under special protection. In an old park in Nizovko, we can see a Japanese pine reaching up to 8 meters, a Lawson cypress, the biggest one in Poland, and also yew and Douglasia trees. "20 kilometers from Koszalin, on the road from Gdańsk to Szczecin, travelers can see 26 great old oak trees, 6 meters thick and up to 25 meters tall. The natural monuments are not only trees, some of them are also stones, being the historical remainings of the post-glacial period. Trigorov stone in Tuchowo is one of the biggest in Poland. The 464 beech trees are unique in Europe. They make a pretty avenue leading from Koszalin to Polanów. The National Environment Protection Fund granted 200 million zlotys to upkeep and treat the avenue. Natural resources found in the Koszalin province are used for the construction industry, energy sources, mineral water, and medical peat, located mainly near Kołobrzeg and Polchin-Zdrój. There are 12 medical peat pools in Poland. The one in Narodcy near Kołobrzeg is the only one expanded to a depth of 4 meters and of undamaged structure. The peat is used by a Kołobrzeg spa. It is a potent natural treatment method using good biological material. Construction materials form the biggest group of natural resources of the province. They also cause a problem. The environment often suffers from illegal gravel mines, the deposits of which are not examined, and after being used, they are abandoned without any attempt to upgrade the damaged environment. But not all mines cause such a problem. For example, a mine in Sapolno Wielkie is efficiently managed, and the finished deposits have been upgraded on a step-by-step basis. The mine brings about 900,000 tons of gravel a year with extremely low environmental damage. The oil and gas mine in Koszalin was created in the early 80s. While it is of local importance, it accounts for 12% of the national oil production. The growing lack of a water supply both for industry and for consumption does not impact the province of Koszalin. The proven underground water supply in Mostovo amounts to 2,500 cubic meters per hour. The water quality is one of the best in the country. The province capital needs are met for the next generation. The Koszalin province, as the whole country, has its environmental actions limited by financial means. Thus, a new group sewage treatment plant in Grzebowo becomes an important development of the seashore zone from Języku to Urząd. An important stage of the ecological way of thinking is to minimalize the volume of produced sewage. The Alpets factory in Koszalin produces hardboard using a closed circulation method. The investment was completed in 1992, and it helped to eliminate more than 200 tons of sewage per day. Before, the sewage had been disposed into the sea. Among 11 water and sewage companies created in the 80s, the one in Języku is the best. It upkeeps the water supply and sewage system in the 30-kilometer-long seashore zone. The sewage treatment plant construction in Bobolis is important not only for its inhabitants, but also for its protection of the water supply for Koszalin. After the completion of a station for phosphorus chemical elimination, its reduction, including biogenic compounds, will reach 90%. One of the most important issues in Koszalin is the completion of the sewage treatment plant started in 1988. After completion of this investment, valued at more than 230 billion zlotys, this will be the biggest plant of this type in Middle Pomerania. It will cover the city needs for the next couple of generations.
Pozostają dwa problemy, którym
There are two problems we cannot solve today. The first is the question of reducing biogenous compounds, mainly phosphorus and nitrate, and also full sediment disposal. The sewage treatment plant will practically eliminate untreated sewage disposal to Yamno Lake.
Oczyszczalnia w znacznym stopniu wyeliminuje dopływ praktycznie nieoczyszczonych do tej pory, bo oczyszczanych tylko mechanicznie, ścieków do jeziora Jamno.
The air pollution in Koszalin area depends mainly upon smoke production in numerous heating plants using coal and other fuel. In spite of the fact that the whole area is not considered as an endangered, there are some particularly protected spots, such as Posztyn and Kołobrzeg, which in the air quality is not satisfactory. A problem which needs to be solved as soon as possible is the liquidation of all private heating plants using coal. The biggest heating plant in Kołobrzeg was to produce heat for all the hospital facilities. But as Kołobrzeg increased its size, more and more heat from the plant was directed to the city. Today, the total usage of the city covers 90% of the plant capacity. For this reason, private heating plants must be modernized. A good example is exchange of the old boilers for gas boilers offered by Morona Cooperative in Kołobrzeg. If we compare these two boilers, this one heated by coal and that one heated by gas, we can find that dust emission in the gas one is 240 times smaller than in the cold one, and the sulfur dioxide is 3,000 times smaller. The emission of nitrogen oxide is 2 times smaller, and carbon oxide 250 times smaller. In spite of the fact that Koszalin is one of the cleanest cities in Poland, its inhabitants complain about air pollution, especially those living close to coal heating plants. Lately, 30 load-type heating plants have been liquidated. Especially important was the modernization and installation of old boilers in the municipal transportation unit. The investment cost reached 450 million zlotys. Taking into account savings on environmental fees, it will pay back after 3 years. An important issue in environmental protection is the utilization and disposal of communal and industrial waste. Liquid waste is stored in 11 solid waste disposal sites, although the sites are not suited for such waste. Besides the communal waste disposal sites, there are also local community ones, the condition of which is even worse. The situation in waste disposal depends on local financial conditions and needed investment. A new undertaking of the waste disposal site construction in Sinov near Koszalin will significantly improve the situation, especially because it has the needed capacity and suitable insulation from the ground. Lately, Poland has faced a new waste problem related to the waste imported from abroad. Very often, the environmental danger level of the imported waste differs. It not only takes room away from our own waste disposal sites, it may also be very toxic to the environment.
Na naszych wysypiskach, składowiskach, których też nie mamy za dużo i z których są duże kłopoty z ich lokalizacją i odpowiednim urządzeniem, ale wśród tych odpadów mogą znajdować się odpady bardzo niebezpieczne dla środowiska.
We need widespread ecological education while taking into account economic growth when keeping with the rules of environmental protection. One form of such education is the Environmental Engineering College in the Koszalin Engineering University. Water technology labs, industrial waste sewage, and chemistry sanitary biology labs educate the students and provide necessary research. An important way of implementing an ecological development philosophy is the organization of seminars and conferences on ecology. Such seminars are organized periodically in Darwovo Castle by the Ecological Commission at the Darwovo Town Council. Some sewage treatment problems, like the Yamno Lake improvement, can be solved only with foreign assistance. Dutch Euroconsult has worked on a master plan for such an investment, ordered by the Koszalin city authorities. In 1992, the first ecological meeting in Koszalin province took place in Kołobrzeg. Some members of the Senate Ecological Commission were present. This meeting's goal is to get oriented on how the local authorities can try to solve ecological problems in their areas and what difficulties they may face. An important task of the environmental protection strategy is to change the rules of ecological investment financing. The governor has a special environmental fund of 15 billion zlotys per year. We used to support ecological investments, giving grants. Now, thanks to the agreement, we can launch a new, more reasonable approach to the investment procedure. The environmental management, that is, economical and industrial usage of the environment and its monitoring, is realized by, first, deciding on the rights to use the environment and administration supervision of its condition. Second, initiating pro-environmental actions and working on the ecological education of the society. The governor initiated yearly seawater tests along the coast of the Koszalin province. It gives information not only on seawater condition, but also on the pollution in the rivers flowing into it, such as Parsenta, Dzierżynka, or Grabova. Results based on the test precisely show seasonal pollution and sewage concentration at the river mouths. In order for the condition of the environment not to deteriorate, it is necessary to stop the degradation process and to revitalize the environment. A reasonable ecological policy must be based on constant monitoring of all environmental elements. Today, the basic information is prepared by the Environmental Protection Inspectorate for the Koszalin province. In spite of the fact that the Koszalin region is one of the cleanest in Poland, the water condition in this area has been deteriorating.
Pobraliśmy próby wody z rzeki Dzierżynki.
We took a water sample from the Dzierżynka River after it flows through Koszalin at Yamno village. We will use this in a monthly radiation test within the environmental monitoring. The results of the research are used to execute the legal obligations from those using the environment for different purposes. Ecological thinking can bring measurable economic effects. A good example may be the local water plant in Szczytowo, producing 193 gigawatts per year. It benefits from the regional phenomenon of an 80-meter level difference between Kamienie and Kwicko. The same principle is used in a small water plant being built by Józef Bojko in Darłowo. It is located in an old water mill building which burned in 1966. The plant produces 3,800 kilowatts of energy per day. The Koszalin province is one of the cleanest in Poland. Its natural conditions and economic structure are the deciding factors. In order to protect its unique natural value, a more economic approach and environmental protection is needed, which means that the polluter has to pay. But this is not enough. First of all, the area's development should be adjusted to a new view and strategy, which may be generally defined as ecological development.